Hi, everyone. My name is Caitlin, and I'm here today with Sam Grenny of the Other Side Village. Hey there, Sam.
Hey, good to see you, Caitlin.
Good to see you too. I'm delighted to talk to you today about a very exciting development for the Other Side Village. Sam, tell us what that is.
Yes, I'm excited as well. We have a fantastic announcement for the community. So, we are launching our first social enterprise. We are starting a cookie catering business. So, we have some of the most delicious cookies available in Salt Lake City, and we are offering them in bulk for events, things like corporate functions, or if you want some at the office, or if you have a family reunion or a fun summer event coming up. You can order in bulk from us, or if you want to order a dozen or 2 dozen, you can email us and we can work out a time to come and pick those up.
Great. So, tell me a little bit about this business. How did it get started?
Yeah, so it got started over the last year. We've been doing some market research, trying to decide. We kind of have two things we're thinking about as we select what businesses we want. The first, of course, is what's going to create profitability, what will create meaningful jobs that pay well for our neighbors. And the second piece is what will actually fit well for our population. So, we want a business that will create pride around a brand and a sense of identity for the village, and that also creates meaningful work, that what people are doing is actually creating something that they feel good about. And so as we looked at that, we found that packaged goods were very interesting. That gave us the opportunity to create that strong brand. And from there, we really looked into the process for baking cookies and realized it was something that would be a great fit for our community and for our neighbors.
Mhm. That's awesome. So, tell me a little bit about. So this started with the first group of villagers.
Yeah,
Am I correct?
that is correct.
Tell me a little bit more about the villagers and how and kind of the process that's starting with them.
Yeah. Yeah. So right now, those who are members of our community, our neighbors, are in what's called the welcome neighborhood phase. So it's an opportunity to get safe, get stabilized, and also really start to learn the culture of peer accountability that will be so important in making the village function, and to really starting to grow personal goals and personal skills. So, we have 5 different pillars of success that we kind of measure where people are at and where they need to get in order to be successful in the village. And those are things like financial understanding, income stability, and what this does is it gives us the opportunity to teach a lot of those skills at the same time as creating employment opportunities. So it's a perfect fit for both building skills and growing income stability. The other nice thing that it does is, one of the most important parts of a therapeutic community is working together. It gives people the opportunity to build relationships, but also to have interpersonal difficulty, to have conflict come up, disagreements. And that gives us the ability and the opportunity to teach the skills necessary to resolve challenges like that, which really lies at the heart of what will make the village successful.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know that this lines up really well with one of the 9 beliefs that the village is based on. Tell me a little bit more about those beliefs and how they're being incorporated into this first phase of the village and into the cookie business.
Yeah, that's a great question. Yeah, so our 9 beliefs are what define our community. They're really what lie at the foundation of what we do and of the values we're trying to create. And so, really, all 9 are involved in what we're doing at the village. So I won't bore everybody by listing through them, but it gives us, really particularly things like 200% accountability, each one teach one. These opportunities that are about both involving yourself, but also reaching outside of yourself and empowering and enabling others. And so, when you're working side by side with people, that happens naturally. That's what's required to make a business succeed. And so it really creates opportunity, but also a little bit of a push to be in situations that might be a little more difficult or uncomfortable, which really gives people the opportunity to build those skills.
Hmm. Well, and I know that one of the principles that the village operates on is that meaningful work and achievement are basic principles of human happiness. So this cookie business is giving these first villagers the opportunity to have something that they can be really proud of and say, "Yes, I did this. I helped.
Absolutely.
I was part of a team."
Absolutely. Yeah. And they see
Um,
is as they see as this business is profitable, we share, how much was our cost in this bake, and how much did we make, and what does that do for our village? How does that help us build opportunities long term? They're intimately involved in those conversations, and it's really empowering. It's they are part of making this business successful.
Yeah, and really creating that sense of ownership. So tell me about your very first catering opportunity that you had last month.
Yeah, so our first real big bake was an order from the Other Side Academy. So they had a ribbon cutting last month for a brand new facility on their campus, the Michelangelo. It's going to extend their ability to their total bed space by a good number. And so we were actually invited in to provide the cookies for that. It was the first time we'd had the public really try our cookies. They were a smashing success. And we also really developed our capacity in terms of being in the kitchen, speed in baking, and also quality of production. That's something that we've really been able to dial in.
And I can confirm I was at that event. They were delicious. Well, perfect. So Sam, do you have any final thoughts before we sign off?
Yeah. So I think, our tagline right now is "It's sweet to save a life." And so we, first and foremost, our cookies stand on their own. They will be some of the best cookies that you've had. They are, we know that the product has to be there. And so that in itself stands alone. But, I think there's 4 pieces to what you can feel and what you can know you're doing when you patronize this business. The first is that you're creating meaningful work for our neighbors, for those who are participating in our program. Meaningful work doesn't just mean employment. It means something that you can be proud of, that you identify with, and that you're a part of creating. Secondly, you're supporting a living wage. So we're able to pay our neighbors well. And this is a place where you are actually directly stimulating people who are lower income, who this creates real opportunity for to be receiving supplementary income. Third, you're helping the village become self-reliant. So, core to our model is the ability for us to create operational self-reliance, to make sure enough money's coming in the door that we don't have to take things like government funding and grants that might tie our hands in terms of how we run our program. So you're enabling us to do what we need to do to help solve this problem. And then lastly, perhaps most importantly, you're giving the neighbors the opportunity to develop their skills around conflict resolution, their skills around employment. And so, maybe more important than all of those first 3 things is the fact that you're giving them the opportunity to be in a position to learn and to grow the skills that will make them successful in the village, that will help them reach out and hold accountability with their neighborhood to keep it clean and safe and prosperous. And that's really only possible if the community shows up and supports us in this and helps us drive this business. So it's sweet to save a life. The cookies are sweet as well. And why don't you give us a try? And last plug, cookies@theothersidevillage.com. So if you have any questions, I can send you the pricing list, the flavors that we have. We have a oatmeal chocolate chip, a white chocolate chip oatmeal, both of which are fantastic, but we also explore other flavors as people ask. Please just reach out and ask if you have any questions about what's possible. Right now, we are in startup mode. We're scrappy. We can be very flexible. What matters the most to us is getting orders on the books so that we can be in the kitchen and be growing. Any amount of support in that, any questions around that are greatly appreciated.
Well, perfect. And that email address, one more time, is cookies@theothersidevillage.com. And if you want to get in touch with Sam and place an order. Well, Sam, thank you so much for being here today.
Yeah, thank you, Caitlin. I appreciate you taking the time.
Appreciate it. Take care.
Hey, see ya.